Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so blessed to have these two beautiful people with me today, Pastor Jose Castro and First Lady, beautiful First Lady, Nicole Castro with me today. And they're the pastors of Full Gospel Outreach Deliverance Church. Welcome welcome back to the program.
It is a pleasure.
I'm so glad to have you guys with me today. I feel like your family is my family.
Yeah.
So if you want to just tell the audience a little about yourself and your church.
Oh, well, my name is Jose Castro, as was already said. I pastor in New Britain, Connecticut. Being raised there, it's been pretty much a great thing. At first, I didn't want to be there, but you got to listen to what God says.
That's right.
What God wants you to do. But now, yeah, we are located in New Britain, 198 Gold Street, and we're right next to Washington Park. So it's a nice little corner, very active corner nowadays. And we've been there for about how long, exactly?
They're 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Been there for 2
years.
years now. It's been 2 years. Kind of moving
Yeah.
along. But yeah, I started, going to church, about within 2003 or something like that. And, that's when the Lord really hooked me in and, and kind of just went forward from there. There's been a lot of things that happened during that time, but I was blessed when I met Dr. Johnny Wilson over at St. John's. When I met him, it was I kind of understood the direction of my life at that point. Yeah.
And you were just even more and more blessed when you met this young lady, and you guys just celebrated how many years of marriage?
Where we at now?
We're coming up on 20 years this year.
Oh my God, that is so wonderful. And from what I understand from the last time when I talked to you, when I had you on the show, your religion was Catholic and you were Pentecostal.
Yes.
So how did that come together? How did that,
Wow. She started it. No. Well, God, he ordained everything. He really put everything in a certain way where we were going to find our way together. We met in high school. I was the quiet one, and she was the loud.
Oh, I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that. You know I don't believe that. No, I don't.
Yeah.
We met at in chorus.
We met in choir class.
Yeah, in choir class.
Yeah, we did.
And
I was not a loud singer, but
she was not. She was always very quiet. And I really liked the way she was. She was very, very, very nice. She was beautiful, of course. And I just began to just talk to her, even though because she didn't talk, so I just talked to her. I used to ask her questions just to even start a conversation. But we met there in high school, and I don't know if you want to add anything else.
it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, it has been quite a
Definitely
journey.
has been. But
Yeah.
well, no, I was active in church as a child because my grandfather worked in the church. But when he went to church on his own to Spanish Pentecostal church, but after a while, he invited me to go to an English church, and I started going there with him. That's where I got saved, and it was shortly at maybe a year later that we came to St. John's.
I remember
So
that.
that was in 2000
The conversation before we went.
That was in 2011.
The conversation was because the routine was on Sunday morning I will go to the Pentecostal church. Actually, first we will go to
the
Victory
English
Christian Church in Middletown, and then I will drop her off at home, and I will go to this Pentecostal church because it was a Spanish church. She didn't know Spanish, so I'll go over there with the Pentecostals, and and we will have a good old time at the church, of course. But then after I think about a year or so, I remember the day you got saved. That was powerful for me. It was a Christian concert at Victory, but anyway, we after about a year or so, I remember coming to you, and I was scared because I was like, I knew what God was doing. I had met, Apostle Johnny Wilson, and I had my conversations with him. There were certain things that was happening during that time that that I had to make a decision, but I was afraid at the time, at the same time, because I knew what that meant. That meant I had to move, basically, my family from one church to another before we can be together. I didn't know how she was going to take that, being that she was new to
to the whole
to the whole thing.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And I asked her, so what do you think? Reluctantly.
You visited St. John's, I think, twice.
Yeah.
Without me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was after that second time, and he just came to me and he said, "We're going to be going to that church."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, all right, let's go."
And I was like, "Really?"
I went with it. And
yeah, and it's been great ever since.
Yeah.
It's been the best decision that I've ever taken at that point. Especially because it was a what's that called, a turning point.
Yeah.
That was a very pivotal moment. That if I would have, I don't know what would have happened if I would not have made that decision, if I had not asked her to go to St. John's. I really don't see us being where we are today.
Yeah.
And how things are today if it wasn't for that pivotal moment.
Yeah, I would say so.
Scary, isn't it?
The thing, Pastor Castro, when you, and I've heard other people, I'm not the only one that says this, when you walk into the church, you guys walk into church, you just kind of light it up. Even when you walk across the stage, it's just, it's your humor. And even when you used to come upstairs and work with us up in the audio visual, and you be singing and all of that,
behind the scenes.
Yeah, but you're quite a singer. And I think I did see you sing on your program, on your church program. I saw you sing a couple times, and just the way you were singing and how humble you are, and I think it's a beautiful thing. And then working upstairs with your son, who is 19 years old now, and I cannot believe it. He was just a godsend. He was quiet. He was very mannerable, and I just loved it. And then your daughter, am I pronouncing her name? Is Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, yeah.
Elizabeth, and her little dancing and all of that,
yeah.
and your what's your other son's name?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, that's right. And he's a drummer. Now I happened to watch, and I was going to ask you what things changed since the last time that that you guys were on the program. I happened to watch the program one day, and I'm like, who was playing the keyboard? Who was playing? I was like blown away. I just think it's so beautiful. So, on that vein, what things have changed since the last time you were on, which was like 6 years ago?
Yeah. Well, a lot. I would say. Well, we've hit this place with the Lord where He was making some changes. He was giving us. We were growing. Spiritually, it's been a great thing. And what has changed from then is that we rarely use other people's music to sing in worship for our church. We now are writing our own songs.
Wow.
We are orchestrating our own songs.
Yeah.
And my sons are very involved in every aspect of that.
I love it.
We were, when we were figuring out what their interests were before we even began to write, of course. And they were interested in Nathaniel was interested in to learn the pianos. Yeah. The piano chords and stuff like that. And I can only show him how to listen to the music and pick up the notes. I can only get you that far. And Jeremiah was interested in drums, and he likes creating music as well. So we was able to, for a short period of time, was able to send him to do classes at what was the name of that place?
Music and Arts in Southington. For about
about
6-7 months, they took lessons. And I mean, God just took it from there.
How beautiful is that?
Did.
Oh my God!
He literally did. They we spent some, there are many of our songs that we sang, that we created. We don't take. We're very careful how we say we created, because it came so quickly how it happened, where one day we were just messing around, and then Nathaniel had a tune playing, because he was hearing music, but he didn't quite understand where it was coming from. He was hearing some type of sounds, and I went downstairs in the living room, and I hear it, and all of a sudden I'll just stop everything, and I'll stop the TV, and I'll be like, Nathaniel,
Oh my
do that
God.
again, because all of a sudden, as he's playing upstairs, I'm receiving downstairs.
Oh my God.
So then I'll run upstairs, and then a little moment, something that I thought it was gonna be a little moment, became a 2-hour session, and we came out with a whole song. I remember the first one we came out with was recreating the song that it's Amazing Grace, but it's been modernized recently by a singer, I forget his name, but it's his version of Amazing Grace, but we made it into, I guess, the way we would do it. And it's and it was such a powerful experience, because they not only, are creating the music. If I'm off somewhere, I ask them questions, and Jeremiah, he gives me the placements of where I should do certain things. So it became so involved, and it became so powerful that everyone at church has been blown away of how God had literally transitioned us into a whole different area that we were not familiar with.
How beautiful is that?
And it's been phenomenal. So we've had about, I don't know how many songs now, but maybe like 7 songs right now. They're not out there, no album,
they're not out there
nothing
yet.
out there yet. We were trying to pray and figure out that part. But we're just kind of walking and just trusting God, and my sons are just being obedient and willing to just do whatever God wants them to do. And it's been pretty awesome to see them in that area.
Yes.
Yeah. Encouraging for me.
I was just so touched when I saw that. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What was I going to talk about? You guys also do a lot in the community. You were having, do you still do that every year where you do backpacks and all that kind of stuff?
We do our backpack drive every year in the summer. We try to get as much as we can. One year, I think that we had a line down the block, and we had we had the assistant mayor, I think, come over. We had the I don't know if he was a police officer. I'm not sure his position, but and we were out of supplies in just a few hours.
Wow.
But I love to do that. I love just having everybody there, and letting them know that we're there. We get donations now from of free pajamas that we like to give out.
Wow.
To the community. I love being by the park now, because now we have access to more kids all the time.
Yeah. There's a lot of people at the park.
That is so beautiful.
We're planning, to do some more different types of outreaching. So.
Wow, beautiful. The mission statement and goals of the church. What is your mission statement and goals for the church?
Yeah, it took us a while to really put one as the one, because we wanted to make sure it wasn't just something we just wanted to put out there. And with much praying and just being led by the Lord, and what we noticed where the Lord was leading us to, what we've been teaching, what we've been preaching, what we've been, studying, and people was, the areas that we've been really operating in, has been where our focus and our mission is to help people gain a genuine and honest relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And that we've been operating so much in that we say, you know what, this is where we are. This is what we're most comfortable in, because we really truly believe that we really need people to really have a genuine, not just a relationship, or not just know that God is real or that God exists, or anything like that, but just to have a genuine personal relationship.
Yes.
That's our mission. That's our mission.
All right. And your children's ministry, other than the backpacks.
Yeah.
What is your children's ministry?
That's
her.
that's
her.
me.
She loves it.
I love teaching the kids. I usually will take them on a Sunday after praise and worship in the beginning of service, and we'll do an activity. always a lesson in the Word, you know, with an activity that goes along with it. And I just love the kids. They can be so attentive, and they ask questions, and they really just listen, you know, and they really take it in. But we love to do activities with them. We've done movie days. We've done, you know, bowling and mini golf. We love to get together with them outside, you know, the church, so that they can enjoy each other's, you know, company. And
that's just so beautiful. I'm gonna go back a little bit, Pastor Castro. When did you know? And I know we talked about this before, but back 6 years ago. There were some steps when you found out that the God was calling you to preach. I think it was a dream first, and then somebody mentioned something, and then one of the sisters came to the church and she said something to you.
Oh yeah, it has been definitely a journey. I never thought that I would ever be a preacher. I've always been one to like sit in the, you know, behind everybody else. I like helping people shine. Help them do their thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier for me that way. I think that's great. It's a great position to be in the back. But as time went by, the Lord, since I was a child, the Lord has always given me things. I didn't realize how much it was of importance until I got older.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to sing for the Lord. I never wanted to sing for the world. You know, I never wanted to sing for anyone else except God.
Yeah.
Didn't understand where that was coming from, but I just knew that's what my desire was. And then, you know, as time went on, even as a teenager, you know, was receiving many dreams of you know, moments of when the Lord is coming.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand why. As time went on, you know, I just kept seeing myself being pulled to the front, while I'm trying to stay in the back. I felt like I was being pulled to the front, and I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But I understood at times that I had no choice but to be there, because there were certain things that was needed at that time. So there was movements that God was doing, like a chess piece, like a chessboard, where He just moved certain things, you know, at a certain time for a certain reason. But as time went on, it just became clear where God was calling. And I remember one time I went to a church service, and I wasn't the one who was supposed to be there technically. It was someone else who was going there, and then that person couldn't make it, so they asked me to go in their place. So I said, fine, I'll go. And so I just went in support of another person who was there, and to, you know, support the church. They were having a service and whatnot. And as I'm sitting there just minding my own business, enjoying the service, I was called, and the gentleman told me that the Lord was calling me to ministry. And I was like, okay, you know, praise the Lord, I'll accept it, you know, and just kept it moving, but I didn't know exactly to what degree. And then shortly after that, literally short time after that, it's when our sister Angie showed up.
Yes.
And a little after that, and that's when she was speaking to me, and she was speaking to everyone at the table. We were sitting at a table, and I was sitting at the end of it, and she was sitting at the other end of it, and everybody was talking, having their conversation, and she just kept staring at me. And I'm wondering, why is she staring at me? And I was getting nervous, you know. And then she came to me and she said, you know, God is calling you. God is calling you to lead and to minister. And I just kind of just nodded my head and in disbelief, you know, but I believe it, but it was just more like I was in shock of what was happening at the time. Like, okay. And then I went to, after that's when the Lord was touching me to leave, you know, to go from the Pentecostal church, and to move my wife, you know, and I to St. John's. And from there, as I served under Apostle Johnny Wilson, and learning how to really to serve, you know, with excellence, is where the question came up, and it was, I like the way he questioned it though. The way he questioned me was I think it was a smart way. He asked me, do I want to go, or do I want to be sent? And I'm like, and as soon as he said that, I was like, well, there's only one way to go. It is if you're sent. And that's where it happened. But yeah, that's like a quick version of like how kind of like how things went down. But I never thought that I would be
Yeah.
a pastor. I never desired it. It's not that I didn't want to. It's just I just never thought that
Yeah.
a person like me who came from the hood, you know, dude, you know, my grade level at the time was high school. That's it, high school and military, and you know, I was more like a grunt than anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never
Look
thought
at
that I would
God.
be a
Look at
person that
God,
would be leading people to get to know God in such a way that is genuine and powerful, and to see people accept that, receive it, and grow has been such a phenomenal experience.
Yes.
So, yeah.
One of the things you talked about on the last show, I think it was like trying to make sure that people know that they don't have to try to get right before they come to church.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. And
Yeah.
could you just talk a little bit about, because I do hear a lot of people, because there was a song that I wrote that God knows your heart. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God sees the heart. So some people, you know, I got to get right before I go to church. I got to stop. I got to stop drinking. I got to stop whatever they thinking about. And you talked a little bit about that. So can you say a little bit about that? Because a lot of people really think that. Got to get cleaned up. They got to be right before they walk into the church.
Right. Well, yeah, I would love to. One thing for sure that I know for a fact, without a doubt, is that don't wait. Don't wait. The moment you're thinking about going to church, just go. Just go, because it's if how can I say? I could say so much. I'm trying to be not so preachy today, but it's one of those things where don't wait, because it's God came for those who are broken, lost, sick. You know, if you have an issue, you're the one who needs to be in church. If you don't have an issue, and you think you're okay, you're the one who needs to be in church too, because everyone needs help and everyone needs God. And one thing for sure is that if you're going to wait, I think that's the biggest mistake person can do, because waiting to get right, you will never get right on your own.
Right.
You know, it's you will never quite get to the completely to the core without God helping you through the process.
Yep.
And so don't wait, because if that was the case, then I should have waited. If that was the case, I should have waited. If that was the case, then the person and I got a story for you before, you know, about that. You know, then the person that if we had to wait, then the person that I seen before my eyes testify, because he had to testify of what he was about to do, if it wasn't for my testimony. And this gentleman, when I had given my testimony at this one event, and I sat down, not realizing what was happening. And then this gentleman got up, and he said, "I really need to say something." And when he got up, and he said that he only came to support his wife. I said, and he said that he was planning on figuring out how to get his wife's purse in order for him to take money out of it and go do something, you know, with it in the street.
Wow.
And he said, if it wasn't for my story that I gave, he said he would have done it. But because I was being honest with my story, telling him where I came from, telling him how hard it was, and telling him that telling the church that they don't have to wait, you know, to come to Christ.
Right.
You know, they don't have to wait to fix themselves or to look right or to feel right in order to be with Christ, because Christ will accept you the way you are, and He will help you in a way where you're going to be better than what you were, and what you would ever expect. To be honest with you, if you let Him. And you know, when he said that, it blew me away, because he was an addict. And he was looking to go buy something, and if it wasn't for my story, you know, him being there at the time that God intended for him to be there, he would have gone somewhere else. And he ended up getting saved. He ended up accepting the Lord. He ended up going to church, and I remember him doing really well. I haven't seen him in a while these days, but because I don't necessarily go to that same place. But he was. I remember his starting. I remember how active he was. I remember how happy he was. His wife was, of course, enjoying the whole time, and it went on for quite a few years. And it's just one of those things where if he would have waited, he accepted the Lord that day.
Wow.
And the Lord dealt with him that day.
Wow.
If he would have waited,
Mm-hmm.
he would have never received the blessing from God at that day. You know, so don't wait. Don't wait. I really, really, I beg you, don't wait. You know, your time, God is calling you now. He's telling you to come to him now. If you wait, it might be too late. And I ask you right now, don't wait, because I'm telling you, you will not regret making the decision to just go and do it now, and let him help you through the process.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, beautiful testimony. I like watching you guys sometimes. I remember one time, you guys are just real, because I remember one time you were on, I think it was Facebook or something, and you fixed the sidewalk or something for your wife. And I thought it was just so beautiful. Even one time I think I saw you, and I think you were playing, well, you made something that had to do with water or something in your backyard.
Are you talking about when I had the suit on? Yeah, no.
And that's what I love about you.
Yeah,
You're serious when you're talking about ministry, but that family life,
right.
that whole, it's like the whole little package. Not that everybody is perfect. We don't see everything that goes on behind closed doors, but the presentation of your family and the love for your child. I saw you with your 19-year-old one thing. I think you had him on your back or something. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about, how you support your children. And you guys are just such a beautiful couple. And I just had to have you on, because we spread so many negative things on Facebook and all of these, social media sites. Yeah. And I just wanted people to come on to say something positive, to give people hope. Right. Because I remember you saying one time that where you came, you didn't know if you were going to live to be whatever age. Yeah. You thought you were going to die early. Yeah. And just look at you. Just look at you guys. Look at your children.
I'm still amazed. I'm still amazed.
Yes.
I'm still amazed. We're hitting our, as I mentioned, our 7-year anniversary coming soon as a church and as pastoral. Wow. 7-year anniversary, and it has been a journey. Mm-hmm. It has been a journey. We've been through fires. We've been through fires. We've been through like crazy situations where there've been raids in the corner of our area. I was cleaning up, because that was like the last time. Yeah. There've been many situations where God has really, made things happen. And even with COVID, even when COVID happened and the whole, I know COVID people, COVID's still around. I get it. Yeah. I said, but it happened, and we're just moving forward. And it's one of those things where when COVID happened, when the whole lockdown happened and all that, it was a challenge for a lot of people. And we were able to just push through the process. We was going live through Facebook, and we decided to go through when we decided to come back to the church, people were very supportive to come to the church and very protective. We did things as carefully as possible, and I would say that even though we went through those things, even though we enjoy our family, because I really love my wife, I really love my children, I really love God, and I really love the church, and everyone in it, and everybody who potentially we can just reach. But it has been rough. Yeah, there has been some rough patches. There has been some times where we didn't know what was going to happen, or how God was going to get us out of certain mentalities or certain battles that we had. Yeah. But when we saw what God was doing, I cannot doubt that God is so good.
Isn't it amazing how He connects the dots? I don't know if you remember, and I always kind of look up. It's a sermon that Elder Pope, Apostle Pope,
I know
that he preached one time, and I always kind of refer to it. You remember those little things that you had? You're drawing a picture. You go from A, then you go down to Z, then you go to, and it's going to make a picture at the end. And you'll be like, what is this mess? I got to go from here to here to here to here. And when you finish with it, it's a beautiful rose. Right. And so when you look back over your life, and I remember you telling me about the different people that made a difference in your life. Of course, your wife. Right. And the lady with the purple bus, Lynn Johnson. And then there was another lady who you may have dropped out of school, but she was there and convinced you not. And all these little people along the way. And then Angie coming to your wherever you guys were sitting around talk. All of those were connecting the dots to where you are now. And well, it's not finished. We know
No,
it's not
there's still
finished.
dots.
Oh, there's still
There's still
dots.
Still dots.
What I've learned now is that there's so much that God is doing.
Yes.
He just connected me to another dot just the other day.
See, that's
And
what
I
I'm
cannot
talking about.
reveal that
I
yet.
know, yeah.
But he just connected me to another dot, and I'm doing something now that I never thought I would ever be able to do because of education.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's like,
yes,
I get it.
yes,
I
yes.
get it. Education is important. I'm not saying that it's not. But what I'm saying is sometimes we look at our past and we judge ourselves because of our past, and we think that we can't
Yes.
do things.
Exactly.
But this is where God becomes amazing
Yes.
because he does things beyond your own ability.
Yes.
And when he does it better than anyone else.
Yes.
This is where we're at right now. So this ain't the end. This is only the beginning. This is the stuff, right? I mean, tell me
I
if I'm
love
wrong.
it. When you're obedient to God, he just blows your mind.
Yeah. So the dots are not over. We still got a lot of dots to connect. I
Yeah.
think the final dot is when we get to heaven.
Yes.
That final dot when we'll reach the kingdom, the
Yes.
pearly gates, as they say.
Yes. Yes.
And as we're there, that's when he's gonna give us that final dot. He's gonna
Yes.
be like, here you go,
Yes.
here you go. You deserve this dot. Finish it up.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Let me get that final dot, Lord. Let me get that final dot.
I know. Now you guys got a program coming up, and I don't know if this is going to be out by the time you got an upcoming special service or something that's coming up. Is this Sunday or the following Sunday? Is there upcoming special service?
I know we have
We
our
had one
anniversary.
last month.
Which one?
Oh, I thought they announced something on church Sunday.
No, we have it's the anniversary.
Oh,
we
okay.
have
Our
we have
anniversary.
we have our anniversary is in
May.
May.
Oh, okay.
And we are looking to have our apostle, the one who ordained me, my spiritual dad, who I love very, very much, and we all love very, very much. He's going to come out on Sunday, the Sunday of that, which is the
May
21st.
21st.
Okay,
21st of
good.
May.
So I'm not too, because I was thinking, when is the service going to be? They're going to have time to announce it. So say it again. It's going to be on the 21st.
It's gonna
Talk
be on
about it
the
a little bit.
21st.
Yeah.
May 21st is the Sunday service for our weekend event, which is our 7-year anniversary, pastoral and church anniversary.
Oh, okay.
We're going to be celebrating on these days. We're going to be basically. I don't want to celebrate like, I don't want to celebrate me. I don't want to celebrate necessarily the church building. I want to celebrate God because literally, if it wasn't for God, we wouldn't hit our 7 years. And so we want to celebrate that by honoring God and giving him all the glory through those 3 days of celebration.
Okay.
We have not completely placed the speakers for the Friday event and the Saturday event, but Sunday will be Apostle Johnny Wilson to be speaking at our church at 198 Goat Street, New Britain, Connecticut.
That's what I was about to say. And give us the address again.
And the time will be at 3 o'clock. 3 p.m.
Okay, good. I'm glad that's in May because I was like, oh man, is it this weekend? Is it okay?
Yeah.
So
no,
great.
we got time. We got time for everybody to show up.
Okay. So beautiful First Lady, is there anything that you would like to say to our audience?
I have just been truly, truly blessed by, the journey that God put us on from the very beginning up until now. And, we, like you said, we're really, truly about family. I love my family. They just mean the world to me. And one thing that we really like to live is being transparent with people, that they know that, this is real life, and, we can be, who we are in God and in our family, in church, outside of church, and just all around, love on people.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Would you have any words to say, Pastor?
Yeah, I always got words.
Yeah.
But if anything, if I can say something to anyone who's watching, I'd say, don't give up. Hold on to God. Whatever you are thinking of, when I say give it to God, I mean go to Him.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Him. Like
Mm-hmm.
I literally go to Him. So
Mm-hmm.
go to Him because without, you know, let me tell you, it's hard to sometimes go to people.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know who to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality. The one thing I know for sure is that God literally listens.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and there's churches that you can go to. You know, there are people, there are good pastors and good churches out there. There are many of them. That don't get stuck in the what's the word? In the mentality that you know of the not all of them are great or all of them are not great or they're the same or anything like that. But what I am saying is that there are a lot of pastors out there who are very genuine, and so I invite you to go to someone's church. I invite you to go to someone's church. Don't give up. You know, go as you are. You know, go just to learn and to get to know people and to fellowship with people because we need people around us. And I would say just don't give up. Really, don't give up because God does have a plan for you.
Yes.
You just got to make yourself available for God.
Yes. Yes.
You know, He's been invited you. He invited you many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to accept the invitation.
Yes.
And don't worry about what you're dressing because He will change your garment for you.
Mm.
Amen. So, amen. Amen, church. So, and be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself because I think the tragic thing sometimes about our mentality is that we think we have to be different.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I failed already.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is that I can't be nobody else but me.
Yeah. Right.
And if I try to be someone else, then I'll fail.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I know that at times I didn't know how to be myself because I was afraid to be like myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how people would accept me as myself.
I know what you mean.
And I realized that the more I tried to not be myself, the harder life got.
Yeah.
And so
I've been there.
don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up and be yourself.
That's right. That's a wonderful message. So I would want to thank you guys again for taking the time to come here today, to be with me,
It's an honor.
to give a positive message. And I love your family. I miss them. I miss them. But I am so happy to see that the church is growing and that they are so involved in the church. And I know it does your heart well. And so I want to thank you for taking the time to drive it over here just to sit and talk with me for a few minutes. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. And I know that you guys are going to do well. I know the children are going to do, they're already doing wonderful. So I really thank you again for coming and sitting with me for these few minutes. And to the audience, like I say to everybody, we share so many negative things. So this time, take it upon yourself to share this because it's positive. It's a beautiful family, a beautiful church. So I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good night.